Beautiful. Hello, welcome. Happy Tuesday. Happy autumn equinox. Um, I don't know about you, but I'm definitely feeling the change of seasons here in Colorado. I'm in Colorado right now, and all the aspens are changing colors. And up in the mountains, you can see the gold and the red. And it's so beautiful, and it's cooler nights. So I just want to talk about today slowing down. And if you join live and you have questions, drop them in the comments, and I'm happy to answer your questions. So, slowing down. It has been a busy couple of months, the last little bit of summer, and being in the summer energy was so busy in the collective, personally, in our lives, and there was just a lot going on. And maybe you're still feeling kind of that. And I really want to talk to you about slowing down because now, with the change of seasons, it is really a time to create more spaciousness in our lives. And what happens when we slow down and create more spaciousness is that we can actually deepen our connection with ourselves, with our channel, with our creativity, and with our magic. And healing can occur if healing needs to happen. We have space to really be with ourselves. So when we're really busy, it can be really beautiful and exciting, and we can have a lot of fun with it. I went to some festivals over the summer and saw friends and traveling and things like that. And it was really fun and exciting, but there wasn't any capacity or space for anything else to really be present. And so while I was enjoying the moment, my creative channel wasn't as open because there wasn't the space for it. And so now, kind of like starting with the second half of September and moving into the autumn equinox, I've felt this like kind of like a deep breath and really feeling the spaciousness again, and being able to slow down, and my creativity is alive, and my magic is flowing, and my channel is flowing, and I'm showing up more on social media and for my business, and playing music and things like that. And so when we can really prioritize having some spaciousness and slowing down, even if we feel like we can't, then what happens is there's more ease in life and more flow in life, and our creativity comes through. It comes through sometimes in the boredom. When we're bored and we actually have nothing to do, there's the spark, the magic. And this isn't going to happen as much if we're like really distracted and really busy. And so sometimes, it's really important to like learn and discern when we need to say no, and when we need to like cancel plans and like take a day off or take a day to ourselves and rest or get into nature or meditate or do some movement. Whatever it is that works for you is perfect. But sometimes it's really easy for us to get excited about all the things and say yes to all the things, and then we get so busy that there isn't the spaciousness. And then we're like, what's going on? And maybe there's not clarity or we're not sure. And so I'm really inviting in of like connecting into the body and using the body as the guide. And so I talk about this in some of my trainings, like when we think about consent and we think about boundaries, we're not thinking from like an intellectual place of like, what does my mind say, like what's my yes and my no, but actually what am I feeling in my body? Does it feel expansive and energizing, or does it feel contracting? And so this is really important to connect into, because when we can really feel what's in the body is going to naturally create space for us to be in that slowness, to be in our creativity, to be in our magic. And so this is really important because sometimes we can say yes because we like don't want to let the person down, or it sounds exciting, or we feel the guilt like if we don't do it. And this is people pleasing. This is the fawn response. So this is the nervous system wanting to please, wanting to overcompensate, wanting to fit in, needing that validation. But what we need to do is really take a step back and like ask us, like, is this actually aligned for me right now? And we can always change our mind too. We could always say yes and then change our mind, or we could always say no and then change our mind. And so this is really, really important to remember when we can listen to the body, because then what happens is, and this has been really true for me the last pretty much this year, since kind of January, but with the energies that are shifting and that have shifted and all the things happening, I've really noticed that I'm able to say yes less to things that aren't truly aligned. So before, a couple years ago or even a year ago, it was like if something was a maybe, then I could say, okay, yeah, I'll try it out, sure. But now it's kind of like I'm not even really able to say yes to those things anymore, because my spirit is like, we're only going to say yes to the things that are actually truly a yes. And if it's a maybe, it's like, it's a no or it's a not right now. And so that's really beautiful discernment, because then we're actually bringing our energy back in, and the things that we're saying yes to are like really freaking aligned, and like really like they are divine will, they're our truth, they're like what we're meant to say yes to. And so we're not saying yes to as many things, but what we are saying yes to are like things that are like where we're actually supposed to be. So this is like really cool discernment, and you don't have to get it perfect in the beginning. This is definitely like a process. And so just being mindful, like it's okay to like say yes and then be like, oh, actually this isn't a yes. And I'm still learning that myself, like with committing to things. And so, and then following through with our commitments. And then, when the more we follow through, the more we can discern, like, do I actually want to commit to this if I'm like making the commitment to actually follow through? That's like a whole nother topic. So let's bring it back into like the slowing down. So when we're saying no to more things and saying yes to less things, we are naturally creating this spaciousness. And we're allowing the opportunities that are meant for us to arrive. So generally I've noticed when I'm really grounded and I'm in my space and I have this spaciousness, like opportunities naturally come. Like I'm not searching. They're presenting, or they're like, or the inspiration comes naturally. And so, when we're busy and we're trying and we're doing, like, there's not space for that. And so to expand our capacity, it's like we really want to be able to work with our nervous system in a deeper level, and the slowing down and the speeding up, So it's like this little ebb and flow here. But I really love this, because what happens when we slow down is we're in our boundaries and we're in our truth, is we're more in integrity. We're more in integrity with ourselves, and we're more in integrity like in our work, in our career, in our business, in our relationships, in the way we show up in life. And this is expanding the trust, expanding the authenticity that we carry and the medicine that we hold. So I just wanted to share that little transmission. It felt really relevant, especially with the changing seasons, wherever you're at in the world. The seasons are changing, whether it's getting colder or getting warmer, and the leaves are falling or not. And so it's just a really beautiful time of year to just notice like how that is showing up in your life as well. What's showing up in your life. The fall time is a great time for cleansing. It's a great time for detoxing or for clearing clutter or reorganizing, things like that. It's supportive energy for all of that. So if there's restructuring going on or some organizing going on, just it's a beautiful time for all of that. And maybe restructuring your own self-care plans as well, your rituals and your practices that you do every day. So just something to think about. I'm here every week. I did take a break a couple weeks ago, but I'm back every week. And if you have questions or you have topics you want me to talk about, please leave them in the comments, and I would be happy to talk to you about them. And then I have a free training coming up on Thursday that is trauma-informed care for healers and practitioners. So I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to lead a really beautiful guided meditation. I would love to see you there. So if you want the link, I'll leave it in the comments. And I hope you have a beautiful day.